Well, it is a marvelous night for a moon dance, but you have chosen to come here, and I appreciate it. This is a great outpouring of support for Edgar Allan Poe, pictured here. You're going to see this slideshow is not going to be coordinated with anything I say. It's just going to be continually looping pictures of Edgar Allan Poe, illustrations of some of his works by a couple of illustrators, and pictures of people who were important in his life. But let's start with a quote, and that would be, "Our existence is but a brief crack of light between two eternities of darkness." Right? Poe didn't say that, it was Vladimir Nabokov. But I still thought it was pretty cool, so I'd start with that. And Poe, it was a little more subtle, and what he did say was this: "The boundaries which divide life from death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins?" So let's walk those boundaries a little bit. On October 3rd, 1849, a magazine editor in Baltimore named Joseph Evans Snodgrass received a note that read exactly this way: "There is a gentleman, rather the worse for wear, at Ryan's 4th Ward polls, who goes under the cognomen of Edgar A. Poe." He couldn't just say it's Edgar Poe. He had to say under the cognomen. I love that. 19th century. Can't beat it. "And who appears to be in great distress, and says he is acquainted with you, and I assure you he is in need of immediate assistance." Not so immediate that I couldn't write out cognomen, but signed, "Yours in haste, Joseph W. Walker." Ryan's Tavern was located in a building called Gunner's Hall. It was being used as a polling place on October 3rd. It was a congressional election day in Maryland, and Snodgrass had known Poe for years. Now, when Snodgrass arrived at that locality, he saw Poe slumped at a table, surrounded by drinkers, not unlike this evening. And Poe was stupefied with liquor. Now, Poe was typically neatly turned out in a black broadcloth suit with a vest, with a white neckcloth. Not now. He was dirty, his face was bloated, and this gentleman indicated he wore an expression of vacant stupidity. He was dressed in soiled, shabby clothing. He did not have a neckcloth on. He did not have a vest on. His whole dirty, ill-fitting outfit was topped off with a cheap, tatty palm leaf hat that didn't even have a band. So Snodgrass could tell Poe was in bad shape. He was about to rent a room for Poe when Poe's uncle, a gentleman named Henry Herring, arrived. Herring would take Poe safely home. No, he refused. Poe had apparently once been very abusive and ungrateful to Herring's family. So it was decided that Poe would be taken to a place called Washington College Hospital. The two had to carry Poe to the carriage, which they did. He went to the hospital, and 4 days later, he was dead. He was 40 years old.